Reminds me of an interesting thing where they were talking about the Expanse and, a lot of it's run about, it's like, this is the way things would be because of the systems we have in place now.
God damn it.
And what do you call it? All of the spaceships are really boxy and modular. And that's definitely an aesthetic choice based on, that's how most of the workaday stuff would be designed. But the funny thing is that actually ignores a bit of physics where material science and the way spacecraft are designed now because it's more efficient is round edges are better in vacuums, are better pressure vessels.
Yes.
So
they're better for pressure, but they don't care about air friction.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always choices, and
yeah.
The round edges require careful machining in a way that square edges not so much.
Yeah. It's hard to say. It's one of those things like on a mass producing level, would it
We're
be
alive.
cheaper to do square?
And John Brockman, why are you throwing our patron under the bus with the show title?
Well, because I judge him, and he should be ashamed of himself. If he wants to redeem himself, all he has to do is fetch his cat.
It's not his cat. It's like the
My
hell's
mic
cat.
isn't bad, and also
No, your mic is bad, and you should feel bad.
no, it was.
Sorry, I should have said that like Zoidberg. Your mic is bad, and you should feel bad.
It was Zoom, and it wasn't even this podcast. It was the Shives hangout.
Yeah, your mic isn't that bad. No, but it is bad. It's relatively bad.
Hi.
Hello. Glad you can make it.
Yeah, we finished earlier than I thought we would.
Okay, that's cool. So yes, welcome to the Alchemy Bench, the second Sunday of the month, where apparently Joe's mic is bad because John probably couldn't think of a good title, and so
I was tired. Shut up.
As John Brockman said in the pre-show, the advantages of working till 3 or 4 a.m. You doing the Uber driving is that you get to work till 3 or 4 a.m. And that's what the show is like today.
Yes.
It's the second Sunday of the month, so we are doing our Patreon hangout. Quick at the top of my head, and with the names going down the bottom, I'll think the other patrons this were Mithril, who I'm sure will show up because he's was waiting for the thing to go live and stuff like that, and probably hasn't.
Wow, way to insult him and say that he has nothing better to do than wait for us. I mean, it's true, but
Literally take vacation days to make sure I'm not working.
I appreciate that you do that, Joe, but
I judge you for doing that, Joe.
That's fair.
And so thank you to Mithril, the Fuck Boys, Marty, Von Rack, the Kama Sutra Scholar, and
Flora.
Joe. No, is Flora's a patron of ours? Because I thought she's no longer a patron of ours. You go check the Patreon list to see if the most updated.
If she's no longer, then it's news to me, and I should check the patron list on a more regular basis.
You said that on a show, so you've forgotten that. Didn't you?
Yes, I'm. See, no, that's God damn it. This is why there. Oh, audience, the Patreon is so stupid.
Oh yes, it is.
So active, Mithril, fuckboy number 1, Joe, Marty, Von Reck, Ely, and fuckboy number 2. Oh, Flora is not.
See, I remember things that you don't.
And yet, my friend Brian once said that I remember what God forgot. And Flora is no longer on the scroll. Yes, I did. I just plain old-fashioned forgot.
Your meme on the screen makes me wonder when they will finally grow up and become fuck men.
Well, that is entirely up to Geek.
When there's hello, Mithril, evening, how you doing? You blame John Brockman. He's late. It was up until 4 a.m. But now
It was a late night in the driving seat.
So yes, it's the first Patreon show of 2024. Joe and Ely, how are you both doing?
Pretty good. Well,
Fantastic, actually.
I love that you use that word. Tell us more.
Well, yeah. I went not a date, but I went out with a friend today. You know, we had this thing in Denmark. I don't know if you heard about it, but I was in a big crowd today of people.
Nice.
Yeah. So so that was nice, and then we got home and we had dinner, and then she left because we had been hanging out since 11:30. Yeah. So that was fun. Yeah.
And now you're here with us.
And now I'm here. Yeah.
Well, that's disappointing for you.
Yeah.
Joe, how you been?
not too bad. We've been having weather here.
Yes.
Ooh.
You know,
It's
throughout
been
most of the
happening.
country, but it's been real snowy here, and I'm
Yeah.
glad I have a sick day because there was a storm and it would have been real bad. And I didn't have to drive half an hour to work because I had
Yeah.
a sick day.
Yeah. I had a friend that was they had to drive through the store. Normally, just the police would have said it's road's closed against a snowstorm, but he said I had to go to the hospital because he actually works at the hospital. This was a true story. He worked at the hospital and stuff like that. And so I was like, okay, so and then he takes the directions, drove to that place, and the police goes, the road's closed through the store. I had to get to the hospital for work to report for my shift. Okay, it's just so he was redirected detour 3 times to find the police as it were to get to the hospital and that sort of thing. So, yeah, some people still go to work because
We were interested in public safety, except for the capitalism.
Well, there's that also.
Wait a minute, you see, your friend was driving and the police helped him, not black.
Yes, not black. Yes, that is actually true. Yeah.
I mean, just a safe assumption. I mean, he's alive, so is his dog, not a black guy.
Yes.
I mean, I'm assuming that he has a dog and that the dog's alive.
I don't know if he has a dog, and I don't know if well, I doubt he will take his dog with him to the hospital for work though.
He should.
Yeah.
That would help people. People like dogs.
And
People do like dogs.
Well, people do like dogs, but those are specially trained animals for those positions as well too. And I don't know if you could just bring any dog for that sort of thing too. Sanitary reasons.
No, probably not.
Yeah. But anyway, Isaiah, how you doing?
I'm good. Still stable. I had to call in sick Friday because I wasn't feeling too well. Friday. We also had some bad weather, except it was actually worse west of us. We had some tornadoes and things.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Tornadoes.
Yeah.
Hey, Mithril's here.
No, Mithril's here in the chat.
Yes.
Our one viewer in the chat, Mithril. Welcome in, Mithril.
Speaking of fun, stable things, since
Oh, don't get into your horse porn thing. I mean, just dude.
oh my goodness, no, I
Did it take that
sometimes
long?
have moments where the things I have to do to live sometimes conflict with, the way I feel about things, and I was watching an Olay video, and she's a defense attorney, particularly a public defender, and she was talking about a very similar thing where, there is a lot of good you do in that job, but there's also a lot of, feeling like you're not actually doing good. Like you are just another cog in a very broken system, and
Yeah.
like that like kind of spoke to me that even somebody who's, working as a public defender is, getting that same vibe. So like a sort of a catharsis joint suffering thing that was somehow kind of, helped my mental health a little bit.
So it's not just me that like feels helpless or someone feels like I'm not doing good, even though like in the best in the can do in the system, I'm actually in one of those positions where I can help people. Yeah.
But there's literally just a bunch of times where you just can't.
Yeah.
And it sucks, and you just wonder if you're, compromising yourself, and
Yeah.
You are. Joe, I hate to break it to you, but you're a whore.
Mm.
Because sex work is work, and work is sex work. You're selling your body.
Yes.
Selling the body, yes. We all sell our bodies to like work at any kind of like job as well too.
And your boss is touching you in the penis. I don't know if you know this.
I did one time.
Not even like the euphemism of your boss is fucking you. Your boss is literally touching your penis.
I actually did give like one time in order to go to like Comic-Con one time, I did give plasma. So I kind of like joke and say like I prostituted myself to get to Comic-Con.
You gave
What?
fluids.
Yes.
Yeah, like there are times as an Uber driver where I would pick someone up at the plasma place, then have a stop off at the liquor store, and then drop them off at home.
Okay.
And I'm like, this is America.
Oh, I'm
Am
sorry.
I'm confused. What?
I'm sorry
okay,
you feel that you need to make bad choices.
So the person went to the plasma place to donate plasma, get money for donating plasma, and then use that money to buy liquor, and
Oh.
then go home.
Well, it's not even that. Well, I mean, part of it is that they're buying liquor, but it's genuinely a bad choice to
Oh yeah.
drink.
Yeah. When you are dehydrated and injured, because when you donate fluids, you are injuring yourself, especially if you're having sex. You're giving up your precious bodily fluids to a she-devil. They suck out your energy. They destroy your life. They tie you down with children, and they steal your bank account. They steal your soul. Women are evil. I'm sorry, Geek. I admit you're... You are somewhat evil by being non-binary.
Oh, yeah, fair.
You share in womanhood.
Yes.
John,
I wear leggings.
do you listen to Behind the Bastards or other what do you call it, Robert Evans stuff?
No, see, Behind the Bastards, I'm trying to remember. There's one podcast I know that I started to listen to that was like that, but I stopped because they were bastards themselves. I don't remember if Behind the Bastards was that one.
I don't
No.
think.
I
I just your sense of humor and your
Yes.
and your vibe is very similar. I've been binging a lot of that backlog, and it's like, yeah, that's a joke that I would hear on that show.
Yeah, no, I just do extreme bullshit. That's my humor. Nothing I say should ever be taken seriously, unless I say it 3 times, in which case it's true because magic.
Because you are a member of the.
No, I'm a witch.
Oh, okay.
I participate in the anti-Semitic stereotypes of witchhood.
Welcome to the show,
Why
everyone.
would you phrase it that way?
Okay, in this case, I am being serious, but all the stereotypes of the witch, the clothes, and all the other stuff are all anti-Semitic bullshit.
Oh.
The clothes specifically are from German sumptuary laws that require Jews to dress all in black and wear tall conical hats. And then, of course, there's the big nose, there's the warts, there's the scraggly hair, and the olive-colored skin. And the whole eating children thing.
Yeah.
There's conical hat laws?
Yeah, sumptuary laws. It used to be that people had laws either forcing people not to wear certain things or forcing them to wear certain things.
Well, I understand that, but it's weird.
They had to wear a tall, pointy hat.
Specific.
Yeah, a tall, pointy hat so that you could spot them in a crowd. And also, their clothes had to have. There was this thing that made them easily. It was this gold six-pointed star. This was in the 16th century in Germany, not just in the 1940s in Germany.
I see. Yeah.
So yeah. So if you dress your child up as a witch on Halloween, you're a Nazi. I'm only being slightly facetious there.
Speaking of Nazis a little bit, and the things that I've learned on podcast recently, that the term mainstream media is actually like coined to Goebbels.
Yeah,
Not surprised.
I can see that. Not surprised at all. Hey, Joan.
I mean, I am kind of surprised that the Nazis didn't like mainstream media because it's corporate culture, and the corporate culture loved the Nazis.
Well. Here's the thing. Faux populism has to use mainstream media as an enemy, even if they don't actually dislike it.
Yeah, the looter press and all that sort of thing.
The Jew press, the Jew York Times, from Jew York City.
Yeah.
Or from Santa Jose.
Or even entertainment media like Hollywood being run by Jews, which something my uncle-in-law actually literally said in the conversation because he was upset that The Passion of the Christ was not nominated at all. Jesus.
Well, it was a bad movie.
Yes, I agree.
It was run by an anti-Semite.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Chicago.
New New Orleans. If the city has a new in its name, that makes it easier.
Yeah.
See, Santa Fe would be San Jube.
Is New Orleans progressive enough that they would make that?
It's full of black people, so.
Oh, fair.
Go ahead, Ellie.
Yeah. Over Christmas, my family is conservative and supports Israel, but they supported Israel by saying, "Oh, Jews are so good at doing business."
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, that reminds me. I wanted to do an audio deepfake thing for Trump.
That's like the equivalent of someone saying black people are good at fashion because they pick cotton better to make clothes.
Yeah.
No. Black people are just better in hot weather because they survived the transatlantic passage because their kidneys are doing a thing, and that's why they have heart attacks more. Not because of the systemic racism that gives them stress every day of their lives, but because of eugenics bullshit. Shut the fuck up, Matt Dillahunty. Stop saying that.
They also, my godmother, and this actually this surprised me a lot. Actually, she said the N-word with a very hard R.
Well, I mean, in Denmark, speaking Danish or German, you have to emphasize the R because otherwise it wouldn't come out because it's a non-rhotic dialect. Maybe I'm making shit up. I'm just comparing it to German.
It's our word for Negro is different, and it wasn't our equivalent of Negro. It was the N-word.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and it's she was defending saying that word, and it was just oh, you're not supposed to. It's I'm and then I was yeah, that's why I don't see her a lot.
As much as that's definitely a bad thing, it's always been a weird focus for me because I don't actually think that people that use coy coded language are better. Is it actually better if somebody's constantly thugs and that sort of thing instead? I don't know. like focusing on the words themselves does kind of give people a pass when it's pretty easy to use coded language.
Yeah, I agree.
You mean like talking about, thugs and
Yeah.
urban?
No,
Damn it.
no,
That's
Yeah.
She was trying to defend that the N-word as being an innocent word, and it was just so weird. I don't know.
Heck, even just like using the even just using black instead of black people is still pretty dehumanizing. Like even if it isn't like code, just the idea.
Yeah, when you do that synecdoche of reducing a person to a part of their identity, you talk about the blacks or the invalids, which is not something they say anymore. But the autists.
I saw someone online call themselves handy-capable.
That's from the 90s. That's a deep cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird.
What's his name? Comedian Man Bun. Gray hair, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, beard.
George Carlin?
That's the one. He complained about handy-capable.
Yeah. It was,
Looking back at his comedy, I don't like him as much. Because he was the prototype. He was a slightly less obnoxious Bill Maher. Complaining about liberal shit. Sorry, complaining about progressive shit. I should try to be careful to specify.
yeah.
I actually liked Bill Maher back in the day.
He was anti-religion, and that was pretty much the only thing he had going for him. Otherwise, he's not funny. He's your Uncle Frank. He just whines about the kids these days.
Back
Now
before he got a lot of pushback from his also, talking about anti-liberal stuff. He also had a lot of like decently poignant anti-conservative stuff. And it was at that time it was really easy to ignore like both sides, like I just hate everybody, or like we poke fun at both sides, South Park nonsense.
Yeah.
Like it was the time of the enlightened centrist.
Yep.
I think my first instance that Bill Maher had lost it was when he started going after like people who read comic books. And I was just thinking, why is this old man whining, yelling at a cloud? Which is kind of funny because my mom actually got me into Calvin and Hobbes, which is the only comic books that I really read. So I felt a little.
Bill Watterson recently released a book.
He did actually.
Nice.
I felt a little bit.
It's like a fairy tale sort of thing, a fable.
When Bill Maher went against comic books, because I'm like, why is this guy bitching about comic books? He also said that comic books got Trump elected.
What? Well, I mean, comic books are aimed at angry young white men who want to feel powerful, and so is white supremacy. So
Hey,
correlation.
Phoenix.
Hey, Phoenix.
Hey, Phoenix.
If you go back and you listen to George Carlin's shit, he was a funnier version of Bill Maher. He complained about woke shit, basically. He complained about progressive shit. Back in the 90s when it was still cool to do that.
I was gonna say there's definitely a few moments that redeem him compared to Bill Maher in my if you there was somebody was trying to like use him as an example of like he wouldn't put up with all of the cancel culture bullshit, and in response to that somebody played a clip from the I forget what show it was, but he was essentially talking about Andrew Dice Clay, and it's like because people were comparing his stuff to Andrew Dice Clay stuff. It's like, yeah, he's not good. You should it says bad things about you if you like Andrew Dice Clay. his stuff isn't actually funny. It's just hateful towards women.
Yeah.
Like George Carlin, I think he genuinely valued equity and equality and justice, and I think he was going against the political correctness stuff, as it was called, because he thought it wasn't accomplishing that. But I think he was buying too much into far right-wing bullshit about political correctness.
That's definitely possible. I mean, if nothing else, when that period was, he was legitimately an old man. You know, not that gives him a total pass, but you know, it at least gives context.
And his daughter, I think, called him out on a big part of his comedy was that activism is bullshit because you can't do anything. And his daughter called him out on this, saying, "Then why do you do your comedy? Why do you call this shit out?"
That's fair.
And he didn't really have an answer to that. I think it feels like a lot of comics come from a place of deep outrage and justified outrage, but that doesn't always translate to positive action.
Well, yeah, like for me, I want to make a comedy about being black and autistic and not being accepted by either culture, because I always the joke would be, you're not black enough for the black folks, and then you're not white enough for the white kids who want to be black.
Yeah, but I think you're too sweet and cute for comedy.
Yeah, probably.
That's why I called you Malamar instead of Oreo. Oreos are minty.
I've been watching a lot of stuff criticizing propaganda lately, and when Isaiah,
Are you talking about the YouTube guy?
A bunch of guys talking about, like, I've been anyway, and it got me thinking, like, an interesting show might be in the vein of Dragnet, which does anyone remember what the conceit of that show was?
Dragnet was actually
was Los Angeles detectives. And
that was actually funded by the Los Angeles Police Department.
No, it was with cooperation. I don't know if it was funded.
Specifically, it was the scripts were written based on submissions from actual police files. That was the conceit of the show. Like, it was police files and letters written by cops. I think it would be really interesting to do a very similar show, except written completely with submissions of complaints about the police and the way that they harass people.
Wasn't that written by Gene Roddenberry?
No, he participated in a different cop show, and he didn't. He was a writer for a cop show. He didn't create the cop show, and it wasn't Dragnet. I don't think it was Car 54. But it was set in L.A., so you're
Adam
not
something, I think.
That's look it up. Isaiah.
I'm googling it right now. Footbeat? No, that was one he pitched.
Isaiah.
Highway Patrol.
Wait,
okay.
Wait, sorry.
No, just a comment that Phoenix said in the live chat. Phoenix said
Comedy isn't meant for gentle boys like you and me. Referring to herself.
Yeah.
And it's also not meant for me, but not because I'm gentle, but because I'm not funny.
At least you at least you are deprecating to yourself as well as deprecating to others. Again, titling the show is like Joe's mic is bad.
It is bad, and he should feel bad.
Wait,
Your mic is bad, and you should feel bad. I'll take it.
That was Isaiah.
what are you saying about Phoenix and me again? Something?
She said, or they said, that comedy isn't meant for gentle boys like you and them.
Okay.
That's all. I was just sharing the comment that she said in the chat as well too, in case you're not seeing the live chat. And Joe P also said, "I can't do stand up because I have self-respect."
Don't you dare come for Robin Williams like that. Shame on you. I mean, he didn't have self-respect either, but that's because he was deeply ill.
Rodney Dangerfield. You said Robin Williams.
Well, Robin Williams also had issues, but
Yes, Rodney Dangerfield have always said,
I can't get no respect. I wouldn't have liked his stand-up comedy, I don't think. His timing in his movies was always bad. I mean, I shouldn't judge him too harshly by Caddyshack because Caddyshack sucked. But, I just don't think I would have liked his comedy, judging by his timing in that movie.
I remember when I was growing up, one of my favorite movies was actually one of his, Back to School, I think it was called.
I remember that one. And I was worried for a second that you were going to say Natural Born Killers.
It's Rodney Dangerfield is a Natural Born Killers?
Yeah, he's Mallory's dad.
Huh.
And
I
also the
didn't
father
know
of...
that.
Yep, and also the father of her little brother / son.
I mean, I don't...
It's a very dark movie, and he plays the incestuous father that...
Killers. I don't think it's a good comedy.
No, Rodney Dangerfield was definitely just going all out on that one. Going out of character, but playing against type. But yeah, he played the incestuous dad who gets tied to his bed and murdered by Mallory and Woody Harrelson's character.
Oh, interesting.
Well then, that was a factoid I was not expecting.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna randomly look at like the movies that Ronnie Dangerfield has done. It's like, nope, yet he's a Natural Born Killer.
Yep.
Yep.
It's if you go into anything about knowing anything about Rodney Dangerfield, expecting Caddyshack or Back to School or I can't get no respect, and you go into natural characters and you see him fondling his daughter's ass and admitting that he's her little brother's father and she's the mother. It's I mean that's probably what Stone was going for in that one.
Yeah, probably. A best comedy film. Well, thinking about that question, like Petro, and then we can open it up to like everyone.
It's Ghostbusters.
Well, the thing is, like the best is where that's where you get the top 10.
Comedy is a little bit about taste, and comedy is always going to be tied to its time and place.
Right. Yeah.
Like, raise your hand if you think Bugs Bunny is hilarious. Raise your hand if you think the bit about him chewing on a carrot and saying, "What's up, Doc?" is hilarious.
Not enough itself.
That joke is better when you actually know.
He was
Like,
doing
I
an
found out about
impersonation
that.
of a famous actor at the time. And he was wildly subverting expectations. A rabbit walking up to a hunter and casually asking, "What's up?" was incredibly hilarious to audiences in the 50s. But these days, it's just what Bugs Bunny says.
Yeah, it definitely is like it's transcended that like we lose the context of the humor. I mean, one of my favorite comedies, Airplane. There were some jokes in there that was referencing commercials that were popular at the time in 1980. Actually, I will have a second cup of coffee. Jim never has a second cup of coffee at home. That's referring to a commercial. And then later on, it was called back. I should have had that second cup of coffee and we vomited this. Jim never vomits at home, as it were.
And there was, let's see, I'm going to have to look it up to make sure I'm getting the reference right. The actress who can speak jive.
She was the mom from Leave It to Beaver.
That's the one. That's why it was so hilarious. Because she came from a white supremacist TV show, and she's doing a white supremacy.
The Zucker brothers and Jamie Abraham picked her because she is the whitest person you could get to speak jive.
And it's comically brilliant.
Yes.
But most people would absolutely miss that because today most people would have no idea that she was June Cleaver.
Yeah.
And I'm convinced that Leave It to Beaver was doing some really, really deep subversive communism because the name of the main character was Beaver Cleaver.
Oh my goodness! As much as after seeing Airplane again, maybe like 3 years ago, after not seeing it in almost like 20 years,
yeah,
I didn't think it was as good as I remembered it.
Yeah,
but it did have one joke, like a running gag throughout the movie, that is just timeless and one of the better jokes I think in the film in general. But like just a really good comic joke, with just this beleaguered guy as everything's going wrong, essentially running the terminal, just escalating things that he had quit that day and goes back on having quit.
I picked the wrong day to quit drinking. I picked the wrong day to quit smoking. Yeah.
The shit has hit the fan. I mean, some bits of the comedy are going to be kind of timeless. Like, what's your vector, Victor? Roger, things like that. Over, under, and that's like those things. But the fact that they have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar sitting in the cockpit is, again, going to be unrecognizable.
Oh, yeah, and the whole bit about, like, he's playing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and one of the jokes is literally him like, yeah, no, I'm a better player than your father thinks I am. Like,
no, I don't. Listen, if
you didn't.
I still haven't seen it in a couple years. I saw it like a while back. I need to rewatch it again, but I am going to watch Mean Girls tonight.
Oh yeah, I still have not seen that like movie, but I heard nothing but good things about it.
That is a lesbian sex farce. I choose to believe that everything Lindsay Lohan does is about sex and drugs now.
Even Herbie the Luck Bug.
Oh yeah, she was fucking that car. She was riding that stick.
I have a huge crush on Lindsay Lohan back in the day.
Of course, she was a white girl famous in the 90s. We get it. And yeah, the rabbits do like carrots. They are sweet and tasty. But he was doing an impression of an actor who was famous for smoking cigars. That's why he would hold it like that.
I think it was like, well, let's say like answer to the question, or at least give our answer to the question. So like, I would just like say it's like my favorite comedies, Airplane being one of them. And another thing about like Airplane specifically is that like Liam Neeson, he played that role straight because that's what he was doing up until then. He was the captain.
Oh yeah, that was a deeply comic role because he was known as a very serious drama actor. And then they asked him to come in and do this, and he's like, I don't know, I'm not a comic actor. And they said, that's the brilliance of it. You're just going to do your thing perfectly straight, and it will be hilarious. And then that's what he did for the next 15, 20 years.
Yes, exactly. But he also embraced it, and I thought he was like good at comedy acting as well. Police Squad and Naked Gun is where and work with those directors and writers again. But also, I think like in Airplane, when it's funny in the script portion of it, that's where it's like I think the joke is good. That's where the jokes are timeless. As how soon can land is played, I can't tell. You can tell me I'm a doctor. No, I'm just not sure. Can't you take a guess? Not for another 2 hours. You can't take a guess for another 2 hours? No.
But yeah, like those bits are kind of timeless, but some others aren't.
Those wordplay gags and just what do you call it?
Shirley.
Yes, so call me Shirley. Yes.
Yeah.
Those wordplay games and Tim Curry at his peak is probably why Clue is my favorite comedy.
Yes.
Clue is fucking brilliant.
So good.
Yes. Professor Plum, you used to be a professor of psychology and specialized in treating patients with delusions of grandeur. Yes, and now I work for the United Nations. I see your work has not changed.
He's drunk. Dead drunk. Slap. I am your singing telegram. Bang.
I could use a drink. Hey,
Super Troopers by Broken Lizard is some pretty brilliant comedy.
I still have not seen that one. Actually.
Oh my god! Go out and pirate that movie right away. Steal the shit out of it. Because it is so true. My brother loves that because he was in the Air Force, and that is exactly the sort of shit that he and his friends would get up to. Because, he was paid minimum wage to guard $1 million planes. And you get so fucking bored. When he was in Greece, he's in an active war zone, so it's a little bit more intense there. But when he was in Montana, so fucking bored, he would come up with all sorts of bullshit to keep himself entertained. And that is exactly what those guys do. And then, of course, they find drugs. What is this for, Coke? Marijuana. Why are we here? It is such a brilliant farce. I love that movie. Also, The New Guy.
Oh yeah, with
DJ Qualls wants to reinvent himself as instead of being a bullied nerd, he ends up going to jail for a night and reinvents himself as a tough guy going to a new school. And becoming the ultimate badass just by changing the way he dresses, even though he's still DJ Qualls, the guy who looks like he has severe anemia, who is nothing but an Adam's apple on a broomstick.
And that's just his body. He's just like that skinny.
I just know him from before. You know that movie, that movie that they had, the Center of the Earth. I know him from that.
Oh yes, he was in Core. Yes, he was. He like hacked the internet, as it were, to like go for information.
He is the heart of the Michael Bay meme.
Oh my goodness.
Hot Fuzz. Yeah, Hot Fuzz is definitely up there.
Oh yeah, Hot Fuzz is quality.
Oh, the Cornetto trilogy is really, really good. Simon Pegg and the fat guy.
Nick Frost.
Yes.
Nick Frost. And Edgar Wright as the writer-director as well.
Yes.
Or one, the director.
Edgar Wright is... I mean, so without Simon and Nick, those movies, I think, would have been of far lower quality. Sort of like how Mike Myers absolutely made So I Married an Axe Murderer. I mean, there are other good comedy beats, like his cop friend who's upset that his the chief of police isn't acting like a stereotypical cop from the shows, and then his boss tries to act like that and falls flat. He's like, "Get back here, you spaghetti penny paisan! It's Paisan!"
Has anyone else here seen Drop Dead Gorgeous?
Oh, that is so dark.
Oh my god, it's so good though.
Yes, it is.
It's a murder comedy about
a beauty pageant. And one of the judges is so obviously a pedophile. It is.
Wow.
It is. It's got what's her name? Denise Richards. At the height of her tits.
Gorgeous.
It has Denise Richards playing a sex pot in a teenage beauty pageant, doing a striptease on a cross.
Okay, just with that description of that scene, doing a striptease on a cross, I have to see this movie.
It's something else.
It is. It's like if I made a movie.
Yeah, that would be. So, Isaiah, Ely, what is your votes for best comedy?
Um,
Go ahead, Ellie.
mine is Danish. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a very funny breakfast pastry.
No, it's a movie called Adam's Apple, and the premise is that it's this white supremacist who gets sentenced to do community service at this church where there's this really positive guy who believes in God, and all sorts of bad shit happens to that church guy, and it's really, really funny, but it's really, really dark.
I mean, bad things should happen to church guys, so I would laugh.
Yeah, it's like it's really funny, and it's with Mads Mikkelsen. The guy who plays Hannibal Lecter.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I think what we really need is a movie starring Michael Madsen and Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah.
I don't care what the movie is. I just want those two names opposite each other on a poster. I thought of that last night, and I just remembered it. Thank you, Edie.
But I like Mel Brooks.
He's not to my taste, but again, I think that just might be a generational thing.
No, I like the producers a lot.
Oh, the producer's so good. Yeah.
I think Mel Brooks and Charlie Chaplin would have been best friends.
No, I can see that, honestly.
The producers and the fascist movie. The fascist movie. That's one. Yeah.
The Dictator.
Except that Chaplin was playing that one straight. He was not doing that for comedy. But I think he would have really appreciated and understood what Brooks was doing.
You guys,
I can see that.
My favorite comedy movie was going to be.
Oh.
Was it Mean Girls?
Oh,
No.
Clueless.
Blast from the Past is mine.
Oh man, I was
My lucky stars, a Negro.
That's not a bad choice.
No, that is it. Yeah. Brendan Fraser really gets to show his comic chops there. Whereas in The Mummy, he gets to show that he's very, very pretty. And in The Whale, he gets to show that he's willing to participate in extremely bigoted bullshit.
Yeah.
Like the Mummy is great because not only is everyone pretty, but for an action movie, it has really solid banter.
Yes.
It presaged the MCU.
Yes.
Yeah, kind of. Pretty people, good banter. Yeah,
Mhm.
kind of.
The MCU. Oh my God! National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon.
Oh, I love that.
Can you
line.
imagine? Can you really conceive that there was at once upon a time that Samuel L. Jackson would play second fiddle to Emilio Estevez? In anything! But he did it so well. He was brilliant in that
Yes.
movie.
Oh yeah, again, it's like the writing in that movie was also kind of good because like just like they like ballet at a crime scene, which just is like again, it's just like with like
Get our car.
brothers.
The car blows up. Get me that car. Car blows up. It's gonna take a hell of a lot more. The taxi blows up. Yes. It's gonna take a hell of a lot more than 3 car bombs to scare me. Not a hell of a lot.
Another fun Samuel Jackson. What do you call it? Playing a smaller part than you're used to seeing him, and also kind of trivia.
Black
The
dick joke.
first-
Smaller part.
The first cute. The first utterance of Samuel Jackson using motherfucker in a movie was Coming to America, an Eddie Murphy film.
That was like that wasn't his first film role, I don't think.
It
but
wasn't, but it was like
that was a very minor film role.
yeah. He was.
That was like Kevin
he was the
Bacon in
guy
Planes,
that
Trains,
showed
and
up in
Automobiles.
It was the guy that showed up in one scene.
Mm-hmm.
What was Kevin Bacon in Planes, Trains?
Planes. Oh, that is so minor. In the beginning of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, when Steve Martin's character is rushing to get a taxi, the guy he's racing against is Kevin Bacon. But no, the guy who steals the taxi
so
ends up
interesting.
being John Candy's character.
Yeah.
But Kevin Bacon doesn't even speak in that movie.
Wow.
Fun.
There you go, people. That's how you can like connect a lot of people to like Kevin Bacon because Kevin Bacon was in Planes, Trains, and all.
Back in the day when I did 6 Degrees, I would make use of that quite a lot.
Oh, the best movie for 6 Degrees though is JFK because that movie is just loaded with like older actors.
Also, not North by Northwest, but something North had Bruce
Northern
Willis.
Exposure?
Northern Exposure, yeah, because that one has a lot of people in it. But really, what you want to do is you want to connect to any movie with Gene Hackman. Thanks to the fact that he had like a 50-year career and made like 2 movies a year, he is the best connected actor in Hollywood.
And by the way,
I mean, think about it. That guy was in A Bridge Too Far with Michael Caine. He was also in the Royal Tenenbaums with the Wilson brothers and Ben Stiller.
Yep. He was also in Young Frankenstein as like the hermit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and apparently there's a Korean actor that's really good, like who as an older man did a film not with Kevin Bacon, but just a film that is like one connection away from Kevin Bacon that allows you to
That
do,
gets
like,
you
the
to
most
East Asia.
obscure East Asian actors because he had this ridiculous career over in Korea for like 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
So like any East Asian actor has probably worked with this guy.
Sometimes when I'm driving around doing Uber, I like to do 5 Degrees. I'll just pick 2 random actors and see how long it takes me to find movies connecting them.
Oh, that's fun.
Like, let's see, Dan Aykroyd and Gwyneth Paltrow.
Okay.
It's easier than you think. I'll give you a hint. You go directly through Gene Hackman.
Okay, so like, what's the movie that like either one of them have starred in with Gene Hackman?
Well, Gwyneth Paltrow was in Royal Tenenbaums with Gene Hackman.
Oh yes, you're right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Gene Hackman was in a mediocre buddy cop comedy called Loose Cannon with Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, I would not know that one.
Yeah, like I said, he is the best connected actor in Hollywood. Let's see. Will Smith to Kermit the Frog.
Okay. So the Kermit Frog has
Again, you're going to go through Gene Hackman.
No, okay. So Will Smith and Gene Hackman, that like Ridley Scott movie. I forgot the name of it. Oh damn it. Oh.
It's the one about the spy satellites.
Yeah, it's one about the five satellites.
Oh, Enemy of the State.
Enemy of the State. Yes. Okay. But now Gene Hackman to Kermit the Frog.
Well, just think about somebody, a very serious actor, who has acted alongside Kermit the Frog.
Michael Caine.
There you go. Who was in A Bridge Too Far with Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman's been in so many things. I was like, it's like, has Gene Hackman been in a movie with Kermit the Frog?
It wouldn't surprise me.
That's not unreasonable. I was trying to skip the
Kermit
Michael Caine
Frog's been-
stuff.
But that means
Because I
that you
knew
can also
Gene Hackman
connect
and Michael
Mark
Caine
Hamill
worked together.
to like all these people, because Mark Hamill was in the Star Wars Holiday Special with Kermit the Frog.
Oh god, the Star Wars holiday special, Life Day, and all.
See.
And that's still canon, by the way, because that was the first introduction of Boba Fett, or the Bounty Hunter.
See, Joan Cusack and Tom Cruise.
Joan Cusack was in like the made-for-TV movie the Muppet something. It was another Muppets Christmas Carol. So Joan Cusack with Kermit the Frog, and then Kermit the Frog to Michael Caine to Gene Hackman. But then like
No, you don't have to go through Gene Hackman on this one. You can go through Enemy of the State, though. Which had Gene Hackman in it, but you're not using Gene Hackman.
I don't know like who else was in any state other than Will Smith.
Jack Black and John Voight.
Oh, okay, yeah. I like to forget about John Voight because, like, I think everyone wants.
Everybody wants to forget about John Voight, except Republicans.
This, yeah.
Everyone
But
John
Joan
Boyd,
Cusack was in
including
School of
his
Rock.
daughter.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Joan
she was,
Cusack.
wasn't she?
Yep, she was the principal. She was a fan of Stevie. That's Stevie Nicks. There we go. But she was in School of Rock with Jack Black, who was in Enemy of the State with John Voight, who, of course, was in the first Mission Impossible movie with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
You just pick up these movies, and some of them become really good connections.
He
Yeah,
was also in Anaconda.
Yes, John Boyd was in Anaconda. And that's,
I have not seen that movie. I remember thinking it was incredibly stupid because that's not how those snakes work.
Right. So Anaconda, you can connect John Boyd with like Ice Cube and Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence, who I don't know if she was alive then.
She was.
She might have been, but she definitely wasn't acting yet.
She was 7 because she was born in 1990, and Anaconda came out in 97. So
Yeah, well, no, then the movie would have been made in 96, probably.
Yeah, still.
So the Republican base would have thought she was a sex symbol, but because they're the real groomers, because they believe in child marriage, and also pastors, preachers, priests.
Yeah, that's
That
true.
is so weird, the whole child marriage thing in the United States.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not that weird when you realize that they would rather have their kids molested than be gay.
Or
Yeah.
miscegenated. Because I picked up and dropped off 4 drunk white girls last night, and they were talking a lot. No, they didn't. But they were trying to figure out the people who they'd been hanging out with, one of whom was a TikToker, and one of whom worked for a TikToker, and two of them were all named Mackenzie, and they were trying to figure out who they'd been hanging out with and who they were talking about. When it said, "Oh, does she have the mixed baby?"
Oh.
Yeah, and
Carolina.
Wait, it depends on how she said it. Did she say it in like a curious way, or did she say it in like a strangely?
she just said mixed baby.
That sounds like a really weird snack food.
Oh my god, now I have to make a gummy bears chocolate snack. Mixed babies.
Okay, that's a good title for the stream. Mixed Baby, the excellent snack treat.
Everybody loves a mixed baby. They're so cute.
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear things are going tough, Phoenix. Everybody give Phoenix money. Make things a little bit easier for him.
Oh my goodness.
I'll probably fire some a few.
Okay. Ely, wait, you were about to say something?
No, I just picture this big bag and you open it and it's just a bunch of babies.
Oh no, mixed babies, mani petty boardy sales on Saturday.
Oh my goodness. People don't actually like mixed baby. They just like peanuts and M&Ms.
Going around.
Oh. Let's see. So I'm trying to remember. I kind of said one of my best companies would be like Airplane, Naked Gun, and Holy Grail, Clue. I think you mentioned Clue, John Brockman.
Oh no, that was Joe. He was talking about Tim Curry because he totally has a gay crush on Tim Curry.
I mean,
try to deny it.
Isaiah says
I'm not even like very far on the Kinsey scale, but yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Tim Curry deliberately got fat because he was so tired of all the stalkers from Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Huh.
That's why he was chubby for the rest of his life after being a goddamn sex pot in that movie.
Oh my goodness.
So John Brockman, do you say what you think is the best comedy?
I mentioned several that I enjoy: Super Troopers, New Girl, The New Guy. New Girl is also an excellent comedy show.
Haven't seen.
Oh yeah.
I mentioned Ghostbusters. Let's see, existentialist film. Bill Murray, Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day is really good.
That's a really good.
What about Bob? I really enjoy as well.
I have not seen that since I first saw it. I recall not liking it at the time.
It's
because I don't like movies where people get punished for trying to be the good guy. And all he's asking for is some space.
It's definitely very mean spirited, but I don't know. I enjoy a good dark comedy.
Napoleon Dynamite is also.
Mm-hmm. I get my hair cut at the Cotton Corral. She's like 15 or 17, going door to door selling lanyards.
Yeah.
That movie was ruined by expectation for me.
Yeah.
Like everyone.
Yeah, it was one of those weird indie hits.
Like,
yeah.
It's okay, I guess. Like the last scene and like the epilogue were good. Like I didn't.
Yeah, but,
like
but
there are
that was definitely peak absurdist early 2000s.
There's
comedy.
definitely times when like awkward comedy like really plays for me, but I just was set up to not like that movie as much as I could have by people.
Office Space.
The funniest thing. Office Space is
Office Space
fun.
had the next door neighbor was also in Napoleon Dynamite. That's why. The next door neighbor was the karate teacher wearing the American flag.
Oh
pants.
yeah, DJ Bader. Yeah.
Yes.
DJ Bader
I mean, one of my. I don't know if it's the funniest comedy I've seen, but one of the best movies that happens to be a comedy that I've seen.
I mean, the thing is, Mike
Bobby.
Judge accidentally got it right on that one.
What's
Because his disdain for the world as it is happened to be correct because he was attacking capitalism. His next movie did not fare so well because he did a eugenics.
Oh yeah.
Sorry to Bother You is freaking amazing.
Oh yes.
Wait, was that
I
him?
don't-
No, that was Boots Riley.
That's Boots. That's Boots.
Okay, I was about to say.
No.
Are you responding to something in the chat or something? I mean, no.
No,
It's
no,
just
no,
that was a weird connection to make. Oh, capitalism.
Okay.
A criticism of capitalism was my gateway to that one.
No, you're right, Boots. I forgot about Sorry to Bother You as a comedy. It is a comedy. It's very.
Oh, yeah.
Danny Glover doing a white
funny
voice.
as hell.
And I love that they actually brought in white actors to do the white voices.
It's so
David
good.
Cross.
They brought in the whitest of actors. Unfortunately, they've been kind of Me
I
Too'd.
still gotta see it. Actually, I can't. I still gotta see it.
I do recommend.
Watch it after you watch Mean Girls. I think it'll dovetail nicely.
Yes. No, I think Sorry to Bother You is going to stand the test this time, and you're just we're going to look back at that and think, no, that was.
Well, yeah,
good.
especially after what do you call it? The gig being a slave actually becomes a thing.
We world or something like that, and it's just wow, it's we know about the Foxconn facilities and the suicide nets that they put up and stuff like that, but yet they're being advertised to you that's this is a good thing. It's just
I'll probably watch it tomorrow because it's MLK Day. And
that's right. Oh, that's right. Tomorrow is MLK Day.
so
Yeah.
for all the white liberals, here's the where you,
No, MLK Day is like MLK Boulevard. It divides the white part of the year from the black part of the year.
no, those are railroad tracks. You got that.
But yeah, MLK Boulevard, it's that's how you identify the black neighborhood in town. Because MLK Boulevard runs right through the black neighborhood.
Oh my god, I think that's true in Seattle. I gotta look at the maps.
I guarantee you that's true with
generally
every
the
single
case.
fucking city.
Actually, in Tallahassee, not really, because our MLK Boulevard actually.
Well, the problem with southern cities is that they're so marbled. They have so many black neighborhoods and so many white neighborhoods. The segregation, because the white people needed servants who lived close to them.
And that's kind of stopped being the case in Chicago because of gentrification.
Yeah, now the black people are all
it
forced to
was
live
the
in
case,
one big
but-
place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
So MLK Boulevard is where black people used to live, thanks to gentrification.
Yeah.
Now it's where 38-somethings, a lot of gay couples without kids. There are a lot of coffee shops.
Yes. So yeah, the MLK Day tomorrow. We're all the white moderates are they're about I had a dream, but don't read Letter from Birmingham Jail because they don't want.
And they aren't aware that he was a communist.
Yes.
Okay, I want to qualify that. He never came out and said he was a communist, and he had a lot of misgivings
He was
about communism. Oh, yeah, the
communist.
FBI thought he was a communist because he was black and he had friends who were Jewish. But no, he had misgivings about communism because of the USSR, and he bought into the belief that it was explicitly anti-theist.
And there's definitely
There's an anti-theist theme in a lot of communism.
yeah there's especially during that time just towards the end of Stalin's reign and I forget
Well, early in the USSR, it was very anti-religious, but Stalin brought it back in and made it very quickly quite religious.
Yeah,
Well,
Like
no,
Lenin decriminalized homosexuality, Stalin recriminalized it because he was an Orthodox priest or trained to be an Orthodox priest.
didn't Stalin want it to become more Christian because he was fighting the Nazis, and it was you needed God to I don't know.
That might no, I think Stalin was just religious.
it's
Actually,
Like I said,
so
he
hard to
trained
say.
to be an Orthodox priest.
Well, actually, his mother wanted him to become a priest. I think him and Hitler's mom wanted them to become priests.
And he definitely realigned the Soviet Union to ally itself with the Orthodox Church. That's why the Orthodox Church is still so strong in the Russian Federation today.
Oh yeah, that's very true. Yeah, Mobicat has like talked about that, and like I think actually Russia just recently banned like LGBT stuff as well too.
Again, they more banned it.
Yeah, they more banned
They
it.
banned
before,
it
too.
further.
They banned. See, first they banned the openly gay stuff, then they banned the subtle gay stuff, then they banned the gay hints, then they banned the people who know a gay hint.
Yeah.
So they banned the Republican from Iowa, who got caught in a New York bathroom. That's an actual reference. Idaho. It's so easy to confuse Iowa and Idaho because neither people has anyone who matters.
Yes, that senator was a senator from Iowa, Idaho. I did it again. I did the same thing you did. But I think it was like actually the Minnesota bathroom, the Minneapolis bathroom at the Minneapolis airport, an airport in Minnesota, that international airport too.
That was before 9/11, so you could just walk into an airport and go anywhere, and gay people would go there for anonymous sex.
Yep, he had.
And basically, you would go to a bathroom stall and you would sit down and you would wait, and then somebody would sit down in the stall next to you, and you'd sort of poke your foot over and tap their foot.
Yep.
And if they tapped you back, then you'd suck their dick.
Yeah, exactly.
I did get hit on by a gay person before.
I believe it. You're cute. You're adorable, and you're black, and that's a thing.
Yeah.
So long as they back off when you said sorry, I don't swing that way, then like
I mean, I told him I wasn't gay, and he left. But I did get hit on by a guy before.
You know, it is so disappointing. I have not had anyone offer to give me a blowjob as an Uber driver. I mean, all of the movies I have seen indicate that should happen.
Closest I ever got to, I guess, a girl was I had a girl. It was back in 2008. I had a girl wear my like winter jacket one time.
I'm sorry, but the way you phrased that was the closest you got to a girl, and I thought physically, like the actual closest you've been in proximity.
No,
15 years ago, I was within 7 inches of a girl.
No, I let her borrow my jacket to wear because it was cold. So,
and it smelled like her for 3 weeks.
Gone.
Smell is that's why girls steal your clothes. 1, it's big and comfy. 2, it's like having an all-day hug from your boyfriend. 3, it smells like him. Because guys don't wash their clothes. We're gross.
That is unfortunately true.
That's truer than I thought.
Yeah.
We wash our boxers after we wear them 2 or 3 times. But we don't ever wash our hoodies. They smell like fries.
I haven't had fries yet. No, wait, I did have fries, but it was like on Wednesday, and I wasn't wearing this hoodie when that happened as well. But like my coworker bought me Wendy's, so that's why I had fries.
Question for the audience: do lesbians steal each other's clothes because they fit and they look fire?
I don't know.
If I'm to judge by Hollywood, I know they steal each other's babies.
I have a coworker that was just talking about this like 2 days ago.
I'm going to choose that as to interpret that as your coworker was talking about stealing her girlfriend's baby. But go on.
No, I had I had just she always wears plaid, and it's very funny because she like leans into the joke that it like fits all of the stereotypes. And
plaid, jeans,
time,
Birkenstocks.
What
Does she have a side cut?
One day she came into work with something that wasn't plaid, and I'm like, oh, you decided not to wear plaid today. It's like, yeah, the wash is going. I have to borrow my partner's shirt.
The one time she wasn't wearing plaid, it's kind of like it was laundry.
It wasn't hers.
So, in the chopstick on chopstick relationship. She's the fork.
Phoenix said, I would love a girlfriend who would make my hoodie. Okay, so yeah, so it's probably like, or like Phoenix would definitely like accept it and would appreciate that and love that as well too. Because like, yeah, if like, that does say something if your partner is just like, well, like wear something of yours and stuff like that, or want to wear something of yours. Because like, if we're somehow disgusted with like, George B said, one time a girl asked me out and I told her where we're meeting and she then ghosted. Oh, okay. I'm sorry to hear that, George B. That's
I mean, and also the thing about wearing clothes is it's a very, very visible sign of the relationship.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People like saying, "This is mine. He's mine. Stay away. This is my penis or vulva."
Right. but also shows of how comfortable you are with that other person who will wear something of theirs.
It's a sign of ongoing, continuing intimacy.
Yeah.
And the smell thing, I think, is important. Smell, odor, ties directly into memory in a way a lot of other things don't.
Strangely enough, apparently, according to the Farmer's Almanac, as well, or this guy that was on like Conan O'Brien one time, they talked about the Farmer's Almanac. But apparently, this guy said like, if you're wondering if this person likes you or will like you, one way to test that, as it were, is to like take an apple essentially and put it on your armpit for a while, so that your pheromones are on that apple, and then give that apple to that person as well too. And if she like, ooh, I like it, smells nice as well too, that person likes your pheromones as well. And but the person said, ew, this is disgusting. It smells funny. Like
okay, no, I mean that's wrong on two levels. First off, it shouldn't be your armpit; it should be your crotch.
Apple.
And second, what the fuck?
Brian said the same thing. He's like, what the fuck?
I feel like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think I'd eat an apple that I put under my own armpit.
I mean, there's ways to be wrong, and there are ways to be stupid, and that was both.
Like, I get the basic idea, but that's a bad example.
I don't know. Do I work it up on like Google of like how to put one's pheromones onto a fruit or something like that?
I mean,
because I have seen it in some animes about where people cook with interesting ingredients.
we don't do pheromones. We just don't. We're not spiders. We're not ants. We don't follow trails that we piss on the ground. We're aware of smells in a very basic way, but we're not dogs. We have our senses are we are blind, deaf, and dumb in so many ways. Our sexiness entirely has to come through our brains. That's all we have. We're ugly and stupid.
Except for a few rare people that just have, like, all weird heightened sense. We are, like, in the animal kingdom, we are just so, like, we don't have the ability to, like, maybe there's something, like, on a real subtle level that might influence us, but it's gotta be real subtle. There's nothing, like, it would have to be like putting it under your armpit to actually get like enough that somebody would notice, because our senses are so bad that pheromones.
The only way pheromones could work is if you directly shove someone's face right into your armpit. Unless you are one of those weird people who just smell like poop all the time. We're not going to notice the way we smell.
True. Yeah, we won't. Via says, I want her to like think of me when she pulled the hoodie up because it will smell like my hair product. Okay, so you see, the hair product that kind of scent. Yeah.
Those have a strong scent for a reason.
Yeah.
I was say I had a long-term relationship with somebody who was like 6 inches taller than me. So, like,
humble brag! I had a long-term relationship.
This was years ago, so it's not much of a brag. But the point of the story is, like, her clothes didn't really, we couldn't like really swap clothes. But one time she got me a sweatshirt that was like 2 sizes too big, just so that you could steal it, like, after a month of me wearing it for that purpose.
She bought you tickets to Imagine Dragon because she likes Imagine Dragon. I get it.
Which is really funny because this is the same girlfriend that took me to an ICP concert for that exact reason.
Fucking Magnus.
Your girlfriend took you to an Insane Clown Posse concert?
Yeah,
That's a good girlfriend.
that was shoot. That was so long ago.
Your life is so fucking eclectic and weird. Renaissance fairs and Insane Clown Posse. I mean, both of them say magnets. How the fuck do they work?
Be surprised. There is more of an overlap in those communities than you would imagine.
I believe it because I don't imagine there's any overlap because one dresses up like clowns, the other dresses up like midgets from 1600. Sorry, dwarfs. They don't like midget. Sorry.
Which kind of reminds me that like maybe I can get the Lidiquin to come back onto the show to for them to share their story of not only St. Colin Posse but the community around it, but also how Violent J actually basically convinced them to come out. That's what essentially because Violent J sensed it that they were queer. So Violent J even sensed that Lidiquin was queer before Lidiquin realized that they were queer.
That's such a fun story.
Yeah, that was one of the surprising things to me was when I learned that Insane Clown Posse was actually woke. Because they don't look it, they don't act it, they're not Rage Against the Machine. It's not right there in the name. They're just dumb clowns, but they're good people apparently.
Yeah.
Even though they don't know how magnets work. I will never let that joke die.
Yeah.
I can tell you how magnets work. The electrons line up and they make space go wonky.
I would say on a basic level that one's really easy to explain, but on a further why does magnetism work? That's legitimately one of the fundamental questions of the universe.
In the first lecture, after I talk about the basics of how the class works, when I start to introduce them to the basic concepts of chemistry, I'll talk about matter. Matter is anything that has mass and takes up space.
Yes.
Mass is just our representation of inertia. The fact that things resist when you try to change their velocity, get them to move in a different way. Space has 17 fucking pages on Wikipedia because that is deep juju. That is literally how I describe it. Sometimes basic concepts, you just have to say, this is weird, it is fundamental, and it's going to be hard to understand, even though it's an everyday thing. And the fundamental forces of nature, like magnetism, are like that.
Oh my goodness. I enjoy so up until the 8th grade I went to Catholic.
Oh, definitely going to hear a story about you learning about a kink.
So Some
girl was chewing on her hair, then she gave you a hand job. I get it.
in the 6th grade. Not that. In the 6th grade.
Way to make it weird.
We learned the definition. We learned that definition of matter, and I thought it was the funniest thing in the world to say, "Oh, like church."
But in the 6th grade, that is a very good bit of wordplay.
Didn't think it was as funny a joke.
But I mean, that is high quality wordplay. That is a good pun for a 6th grader.
It's very good. Most of the other students thought.
And I gotta say, your priest probably really appreciated you for your intelligence. Thought you were very mature and. That's a child rape joke.
I remember Catholic school, church school. We had it on. I went to the Wednesday night once though, because like.
Oh, you were that kind of Catholic.
Yeah, we were. Well, it's just like I guess like I don't know. We couldn't make it to the Sunday ones after church as it were too. So like to catch up as it were, we went to the Wednesday night school. But and the only reason to stop going is just like it just became too much for my parents. In that because like I had to do like baseball, karate, and other things in the church, and so we had to drop a lot of things for the logistic reasons as well too. I don't know why we stopped going to the church anyway, and it's just great. We just like stopped going. I'm too tiring to like go, or like my mom was like working.
Let's see, 6th grade, you were 11 or 12.
Yeah.
You have older brothers, so your parents would have been in their mid to late 30s. Mm-hmm. They didn't want to wake up that early on a Sunday.
Probably.
Because when you get into your mid to late 30s, sometimes you wake up and something hurts, and that's just your life now.
Take care, Joe Trumpy. Thank you for
Bye,
coming
JJ.
at the same time.
Bye, JJ.
Sunday school
I gotta
sounds
leave in
such
like
bullshit.
10
Yeah,
minutes.
Church is such bullshit. Sunday school is just
Yeah, but
colorful bullshit.
just like you've been to school all week and then you have to go to school on Sunday.
yeah.
No, but it's church.
Well, I mean, it could be worse. It could be like the 19th century where you didn't go to school, you just went to work.
Yeah.
6.5 days a week.
But still, it's just.
No,
Yeah.
no, but it's church school. It's like y'all need Jesus.
How are you going to learn to accept being the very good friend of the priest like Joe was?
Is it really like several hours of just?
Not several hours. It's usually 30.
Like 1 hour.
Basically, you go there during the first part of the sermon so that you don't get bored, fall asleep, and piss yourself.
Mm-hmm. That's
No,
that too.
The only thing I liked about church was, especially at a black church, because like we would have food. That was
They often did like breakfasts and stuff under.
Sometimes, yeah.
Afterwards.
Every church has food. They give you wine and crackers. Bad crackers with no salt.
Yeah.
And low alcohol wine, or in the churches
yeah.
I went to as a kid, grape juice and
Yeah.
Triscuits. But
I was surprised that like people like would like do the transubstantiation with like grape juice. So I was like, wait, what? You didn't have the terminal wine I had to drink? But like, so they did.
It was bad wine. It was
was
like vinegar.
yeah, no, I mean the thing about Christians is that once you put the label Christian on it, they'll buy it no matter how bad it is, whether it's movies
Correct.
or books or wine
Yes.
or marriage.
Yeah. Or music.
Or science.
Or science, yes.
Heavy scare quotes. Science.
Science. Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, now I need not just a soundboard, I need a video board so that I can pop up heavy scare quotes.
Yeah. No, it's just like no, but apparently there was actually an anime called like Superbook that like no seriously one of the voice actors at Funimation, Josh Grell or something like that. He grew up Christian as it were, but that was one of the shows that like he would like see at the church would like see something like that. They take stories from the Bible and then they animate it as well too for the American audience as well too. But like that's what got him into anime was the show Superbook as well too. So. I would watch it myself if I can track it down or like find it online just for the curiosity's sake as well too, because like no, believe it or not, there's been some anime that like religious cults has produced as well to, of course, like spread their religiosity and that sort of thing too. Happy Science actually, my brothers for a lark because it was like, shown at a theater near us as were, and they served beer there, so I got us good stuff there. It showed us History of the World, History of the Universe, Part 1, which was a sequel because, like, History of the Universe Part 2.
No, History of the World was Mel Brooks.
Oh, yeah. No, this is, like, History of the Universe.
Oh. Was that a Christian bullshit movie, or...?
It was.
Because they have to steal everything. Because they're not
Happy
original. Because they're
Science.
Christians.
It was Happy Science anime.
Oh, wait, is that the Japanese weird-ass... Okay.
Yes, it is.
That cult is fucking weird.
Oh yes, it is. But like laws of the universe. Oh, there was a part 2 as well. So me and my brothers did not see the Laws of the Universe Part 0, which was the first movie. We saw Laws of the Universe Part 1, the sequel. And no, seriously, I actually liked it. I did not expect to actually like some of the characters. There was now it was the sequel, and we were shown characters who we had no introduction to as well, so we kind of like learn about them as they go along. But yet the first part of the movie kind of was not really connected to like the rest of the movie, and we were bullshit in the middle of like just like this is a 4 or 5 minute long music video of like not great music. It's just boring church music, honestly. It's like, okay, there's that angel guy that's like your savior as word that you want to see. He's a big important thing, and after he shows up there and it shows up at the end, and that's it. It does nothing. It's where, but it's like what
This anime doesn't even have jiggle physics. There we
jiggle
go.
physics. It's where.
Jizzle physics.
No, it's just like, yeah, me and brothers were strangely actually enjoyed that movie. I still can't recommend it because there was a lot of bad parts or like a lot of boring parts to it.
That's kind of how I feel about what do you call it? We had watched some Veggie Tales, and I'm like, well, like this is just on the level of a kid show. Like this isn't like bad. This isn't like a bad Christian kid show. This is like just bad in the way that kids shows are bad, where it's a little pandery.
Have you ever watched Thomas the Tank Engine? Oh my god.
Thomas the Tank Engine. But yet the Railway series that the Thomas the Tank Engine came from is actually a lot more interesting. Our friend Nick Henson came on to talk about that. And sure, Metro probably knows about that as well, too. But anyway.
Not all English people have hard-ons for trains. They don't all have that weird fetish.
Which of those
just most of them
was narrated by Ringo Starr?
Thomas.
Oh, Thomas.
Okay.
I think it was Thomas.
I'll say that.
Yeah, no, that John Oliver talked about that. Talked about the episode where one train was feeling down, and so he didn't want to pull trains. So they locked him in a dungeon and left him there to die.
Yeah.
And Ringo Starr said he deserved that.
So dark. No, the Railway series can be very dark, yeah. But
no, that was Thomas, not Railway.
Again, some of the darkness was showed up in Thomas, as we're. Hold on, Mr. says the church in England. My dad had to buy a thing called like a accelerator wine for the communion. What?
To make it's to fortify the communion wine, to keep it from being so shitty that people would realize the church is bullshit. What is going? It's bullshit. I can get drunk at a pub. I don't need Jesus. My English accent's really fucking good, actually.
Yeah.
Let's see. What was I have to do? I can talk Mancunian too. Can I do? I can't do scouse. Scouse. There's a moose loose bit the who's.
You're about as understandable as most Scottish people that I've ever heard of.
That wasn't Scott. That was Scouse. Scouse is from people around Liverpool.
Okay. Yeah, it's like Metro. This is true, right? Each of like the different cities in like the UK, as like or in England, I should say specifically, have their.
Oh, not acceleration wine. Ecclesiastical. Good. You were. Don't read things.
I'm dyslexic. I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't know how to pronounce words I'm not familiar with. I need it.
You went from ecclesiastical to acceleration.
There's double C's in both words.
That's all they have in common.
They also have.
Oh, he had to finish it off. Scare quotes had to finish it off.
No, that's really like Catholic Church is where it's like you tell the difference between Baptists and Catholics because the Catholics actually talk to each other as they meet each other at the liquor store.
Mm-hmm. Jews don't recognize Jesus. Protestants don't recognize the Pope. Baptists don't recognize each other at the liquor store. Yeah, your dad had to finish off the wine. And the priest looked at Joe and said, "Hey, you going to finish that?"
It was worse than that fact that like accents will like vary within 15 miles of each other. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, it's like. It's amazing that you can all understand each other as well too. And then there's the divide between the north and like the rest of England too.
According to some people, accents will vary from one side of the street to the other.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because Yorkshiremen will not talk to that bitch, Karen.
It is just amazing that like they can like those areas can have such cultural separation even still today. Like it makes sense why they diverge so much at one point. But the fact that it hasn't like amalgamated is weird. To me.
Joe, if you had to, would you leave the house? I mean, imagine that you don't live in a place with Chuck E. Cheese or Dave and Buster's, which is the same thing but with better beer. Imagine you lived in
Chuck E.
England.
Cheese has the worst beer.
Imagine you lived in England and your option was English food. No, you're not going to go out and talk to people. You're going to stay home and watch bad television.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like the bad television isn't regional. It's weird that the accents,
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Of course, I'm the expert on regional accents. I watch all the British television. I watch Doctor Who and Monty Python. And
not Red Dwarf?
No.
You haven't watched Red Dwarf?
Oh,
It's good.
I have not watched Red Dwarf. I've heard about it. There's a cat guy, and
Yes,
they have he has a humiliation kink, and they use him.
You can skip the first 2 seasons and start with third.
I'm not going to do that. You know I'm not going to do that. Don't try to get me to do that.
Seasons, but like jokes are not as good in the first 2 seasons as they are.
I also need to watch Blackadder.
Blackadder is good, yes.
It has what's his name from The Thing,
From the Thing.
Mr. Bean.
Well, yeah, Rowan Atkinson.
He was the only thing about the rape movie that was good.
the what?
Love Actually.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
I thought it was like you're talking about Love Actually. You know,
It took me a second, and I'm like, yeah, kind of.
I know what goes on in Love Actually. I know it's not a good movie, but like if there's like rape in there, no, I can believe that. Honestly.
I mean, there's no active rape, but it is not a positive representation of relationships. Active consent is not so much a thing.
Yeah, that's.
It is very much a middle-aged white guy movie.
No, there you go. Yeah. Watch a series called The Bay. That's like where I live. Oh, okay, cool.
You don't live in the Bay. You're from Manchester. That's in the middle of the country.
Now we were a little late today, or John Brockman was a little late today because. Again,
Shut up! I was on time. Y'all were late. You're early. You're early. I'm a wizard.
Early.
But like we have like now eclipsed 90 minutes of the show. What a show that we had today. It took that long to talk about horse porn because that was in the first 10 minutes or something like that. Had good conversations though about like a good the road accident.
Oh.
Yeah. So road accident, just like John Cleese, and just like.
Well, as a guy whose comedy mostly consisted of him not talking, that makes sense. But then there was John Cleese.
Yes.
He turned out to be a anti-Me Too.
Yeah.
John Cheese.
Yeah, John Cheese. Yeah, and also pro.
Is anyone really surprised about John Cleese?
Well, he was friends with a gay guy.
Not really.
Uh,
He seems like one of those old timers that are just. Like,
He's an old white guy. Fuck him.
Yeah, exactly. Same with Rowan Atkinson.
Okay, now remember, I'm going to end this show like I end every show. White genocide is a good thing, and you should do it.
Well, it's not
Buy
that's
guns.
a terrorism.
Wow.
It's not
Okay,
doing
like
that's
I am
terrorism.
very no, it's not sarcastic. It's not random. It's a genocide.
Oh god.
If you start with me, I won't be mad.
This is why Tabby Wolfus doesn't come back on. She doesn't feel comfortable coming on to the show because
Yeah, I know, I get it.
Yes. So, what do I want to do the show? Do I even want to promote the things that other people do? As we're
Give Phoenix money and hugs,
well, definitely that. So check out Charity
and JoJo P, and the charity links up page.
Jerry links up page. Joanna needs money.
Rescue Geek from tens of thousands of dollars of credit card debt.
Well, that won't happen anytime soon, unless communism happens. But like, hey, if you want to help with that, then like
Instead of communism, how about comedyism?
well, at least that's better than.
You can't see the stupid face I'm making. Damn.
No, we can't because you're a cat. Right now you're a cat. So.
I need to make my bed.
Yeah, Isaiah, you have like the Sinister Intelligence channel and the Autistic Modeling Society channel, and you're on Instagram at like zeroterror.60.
Yes.
So check out those things. Ely, your cat has a blue sky.
Yeah, my cat has a blue sky.
Luna.
I haven't posted anything for a little while, but it's just like.
Mm-hmm. But like, go ahead.
No, it's just the lack of traction can feel a bit sort of demoralizing.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I get that with blue sky as well too. It's like I don't know, it's like
It just doesn't have the Nazi fan base that Twitter does, so it's harder to get people.
mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. It's called X now. Fucking.
I'm still calling it Twitter as well
Oh,
too.
yeah, all the good people are.
Speaking of Twitter, I am Summer Geek on Twitter, Summer Geek on Co, Summer Geek on Tumblr, Summer Geek on Blue Sky, Summer Geek on YouTube and Twitch. Because I'm going to be like streaming on both YouTube and Twitch, just playing Stardew Valley again, continuing with my farm that I just started like 2 weeks ago, because I was working last week. And maybe that like Canadian sock dem that like thinks that like socialism and capitalism can work together, who called me a liberal, will join in the chat again, and maybe I'll yell at that like a liberal and flipping off again. Who knows? We'll see. And so yeah, that's what I'm planning to do. And John Brockman, you're part of another podcast, aren't you?
Dungeons and Debacles. Quite different from this one. Heck of a lot of fun. Although I'm getting kind of tired of my Dragonborn reactionary priest. I kind of want to play a cat who's a bard. Not a cat person, not a tabaxi or Leonid, but an actual cat who's a bard.
I've toyed with making characters like that.
I want him to play the harmonica.
There is legitimately like spells and stuff that you could be an awakened thing like that. There's no reason. There's no.
Want him to
reason why
have no strength, no constitution, decent dexterity, no intelligence, no wisdom, high charisma, and to play the harmonica thanks to the little neck thing. Like,
I can hold the harmonica in place. This works. Yep. So go check out Dungeons and Debacles. Heck of a lot of fun. Very different from this.
And don't actually do a stochastic terrorism. And when it comes to white genocide, do the gentle genocide of miscegenation, not murder.
I agree with that.
And not having children.
Yep.
yes.
Antinatalism is fine.
Oh my
Yes.
god, the gentle genocide of miscegenation sounds like an ad read for miscegenation.
That could be another title.
Have you ever seen a mixed race baby? They're cute. Mixed babies are the best. Consider the gentle genocide of miscegenation. And then you have Sarah McLachlan playing in the background. In the arms of the angels.
That's what always make me fall asleep, as it were. But beginning to like.
And that's what should happen with your mix baby.
Well, I gotta run and go get my hair cut, guys, and go do some grocery shopping. But I'll catch up with you guys later.
All right, and we all should go. It's been
Have fun.
like an hour and 50 minutes.
Oh, goodness.
Yes. So take care of yourselves. Practice
times.
self-care.
Yep.
Hydrate,
Medicate. Be safe.
Yeah.
Gentle
Masturbate.
genocide. Hydrate, medicate, miscegenate.
Yeah.
Can be both.
Yeah. You destroyed the purity of your sperm. It's just fastest out like no nuts as were. Wow.
Remember, if you vote Republican, you're voting for eugenics.
Yes,
right.
you are.
And now we go bye-bye.